Hello, welcome to our channel where we discuss life on the ordinary lane. So I was born and raised on the continent of Africa. At age 20, I moved to the United Kingdom, the UK, to study and work, and eventually I established family in the UK. I've now spent over 20 years in the UK, moving back and forth, visiting the motherland, and at some point I even moved back to the continent for a time before I had to return to the UK again. So I've lived this life from both sides. And after 2 decades, I have realized that moving between these two worlds isn't just about changing locations, it's about transformation of the inner being. And I thought that I could perhaps talk about certain things that I have observed from my experience over 20 years living in the West, having been born on the motherland. So the first thing that I observed is the hidden tax. I used to think that being in the diaspora meant that I was lucky. I had access to opportunities, stability that being and living in the West brings. And yes, indeed, those things are real, but no one talks about the quiet identity tax that you pay every single day as you navigate, living in the West but being from the motherland. This video isn't about who's better. It's about what I've learned standing in the middle, loving both worlds. The West teaches you structure early. Everything has a framework. Time is measured, protected, and monetized. You learn to plan 5 years ahead. You learn punctuality, efficiency, planning 5 years ahead. I once stayed at a holiday resort where they offered me a discount if I booked my next holiday 2 years ahead. 2 years. That mindset shapes everything. And honestly, that structure taught me a lot. It taught me how to optimize my life. But here's the thing no one warns you about. In the West, you can be surrounded by people and still feel profoundly alone. I look at people on the London Underground, hundreds of people, yet each person is sealed in their own mental bubble, heads buried in newspapers, books, or phones. I can go a week without saying hello to my neighbors. This confounds my parents when they visit. In the homeland, they know the whole village. They shout greetings across plains. In the West, community is optional. Playdates are scheduled, meetups with friends are scheduled, and even family gatherings are planned to the T. People respect your boundaries, and while that is powerful and you are safe from intrusions, it also means you are often unseen. There's a running joke people on the continent like to make about those of us in the diaspora. They say, when you people call, you never want to hang up. An hour passes, then maybe another, and they'll say, you ask about everything. The chickens, the cows, the goats, the neighbors, and honestly, it's true. But here's what that joke misses. That phone call isn't about information, it's about connection. In the West, conversations are efficient. How are you? Good. Busy? Let's catch up soon. And that's the end. So when someone in the diaspora finally calls home, they don't ask, how are things? Because in African culture, belonging lives in the details. Those questions aren't random. They are emotional GPS coordinates. Asking about cows means the land still exists. Asking about chickens means life is still familiar. It means the world you left behind hasn't vanished. Those long calls are not small talk. They are us stretching a thin phone line into a village. They are us trying to sit on a wooden chair or stool under the mango tree from thousands of miles away. And yes, sometimes the call lasts so long that someone back home finally says, okay, we need to eat now. And you realize you've been on the phone for 1 hour, 40 minutes, and you're still not ready to hang up because when you end that call, you return to quiet. So if you've ever wondered why diasporans ask about everything, it's not nosiness. It's nostalgia mixed with loneliness. It's love looking for somewhere to land. And for that 1 hour, through laughter, gossip, and unnecessary details, we are home again. On the continent, your accent is normal. Your humor lands. This is where Ubuntu lives. I am because we are. But once that phone hangs up, the identity tax comes due again, especially at work. In the West, your business card is your identity. The workplace is a stage. You learn the art of code switching. You soften your accent to be understood. You navigate a corporate culture built on individual merit, while your soul is wired for collective success. You become a master of the mask, efficient, rational, professional. But there is an exhaustion that comes from translating your brilliance into a language that wasn't built for you. You realize that in the West, you are respected for your function, but on the continent, you are respected for your presence. In London, if you stop working, you disappear. In Lagos or Nairobi, you don't need a LinkedIn profile to validate you. This struggle with identity becomes even more complex when you become a parent. Raising children in the diaspora is an act of cultural translation. You want to give them the roots of the continent with the wings of the West, but their home is not your home. They speak the language of the West without the accent that you have. They prioritize boundaries and mental health, concepts our parents might have seen as luxuries. You find yourself injecting culture, food, music, mandatory trips. You fear that when you die, the bridge will collapse. But here is the truth. Our children aren't lost. They are the first citizens of a new world. They are the proof that we didn't just survive the journey, but we evolved. While we try to build a future for our children, we are often still paying for the past. It's called black tax. It doesn't show up on a payslip, but it shapes every decision. In the West, financial independence is the goal. On the continent, it can look like abandonment. Your salary belongs to siblings' school fees, medical bills, and funeral contributions. Saying no doesn't feel like budgeting, it feels like betrayal. Black tax delays our own savings and rest. You watch your peers in the West build generational wealth forward, while you repair generational gaps backward. There is no applause for this. It is simply expected. So, how do we survive this? I've learned the goal isn't choosing a side. That binary choice is a trap. The breakthrough happens when you realize you aren't divided, but you are expanded. I call this the third identity. It's a superpower. It's the ability to walk into a London boardroom with discipline, then walk into a family gathering with Ubuntu warmth. You become a cultural architect. Look at your mixed up accent and your dual perspective and realize this isn't a mess, it's a masterpiece. We are the people who can translate the world to itself. You are 100% of the journey you have walked. To my fellow diasporans, I know it's exhausting. I know the winters feel cold and the tax often feels heavy. But remember, bridges are the most important structures in the world. A bridge isn't judged for not being part of the land on either side. Its beauty is that it connects what would otherwise be apart. You are the bridge. You are a pioneer of a new world. Stop trying to fit in. You were meant to span the distance, take the systems, keep the soul, build your third identity, and finally, let yourself be at home. I've shared my journey, the identity tax, the silence of the West, and the beautiful heavy warmth of the continent. But this is a conversation that is still being written by millions of us. I want to know your story. Maybe you're in the middle of the black tax struggle right now. Maybe you're a parent trying to explain home to your children. Or maybe you finally found that third identity and you're feeling at peace for the first time. What does home mean to you today? Please share your experience in the comments because they help us find each other. If this video made you feel a little less alone in your journey, please hit the like button. It helps this message reach others who might be standing between worlds today. And if you want to be part of a space where we explore these deep, uncomfortable, and beautiful truths with research and heart, I'd love for you to subscribe and join us. I'm glad you're here. I'll see you in the comments.